Greetings from the far side of the galaxy. I'm Fury, your host the most, here with a sequel, kinda, to a video I made a while back. Last time I asked that you submit your confessions, this time I'll be looking at your headcanons. If you don't know what a headcanon is, I'll probably just throw a definition from Urban Dictionary on the screen. You can thank future me for that. Let's get started with the first headcanon. Barghest and Nomad have the most retail customer service experience among all the characters. I don't know about Barghest because he's usually a bodyguard, but I do agree with Nomad. He's like Larry from the Amazing World of Gumball. He works every job, everywhere, all at once, and it sucks. The next headcanon we'll cover will be this one. Hef and Taos practice ballroom dancing after the virtual summer memory event. And Arachne visits the crafter's workshop for two main reasons: request about her job and to make Hef one of her models. Only Arachne, in all of her weird glory, would require the crafter's help for fashion. I mean, look at those guys. No drip. Or, Bacana. Alright, joke's not that funny, moving on to the next headcanon. Housamo is a TV show with a big budget and the events are its spin-offs. Also, the spin-offs are more popular than the main series. I don't know about the spin-offs being more popular, but... hang on, is your profile pic my fucking phone background? Oh geez, small world I guess. The next headcanon is, Fushi isn't allowed within 300 feet of Hakumen's casino, otherwise he would clean them out. So counting the fact that Fushi isn't allowed within 300 feet of the player, that makes 2 restraining orders. Speaking of Fushi and his sister wife, we have this headcanon. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long one. Both of these involve Ophion and Fushi, and it's the idea that both Urinome and Nua were just the buffest fucking women known to man. Urinome straight up kicked Ophion's tooth out and probably had to manhandle him to control his ego more than once. As for Nua, Fushi clearly implies that both him and Nua were the only ones to survive a flood. And I like to imagine that it was only because Nua literally had to drag his ass away from the water so he wouldn't get swept up by the current. It's also funny to imagine Fushi trying to baby his sister when she could probably bench him single-handedly. All I'm going to say to that is, unfathomably based. The next headcanon will be a short one since the last one nearly killed me. Volk likes to be pet and has many traits that resemble Horkyu but doesn't admit it. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy, yes you are. You are. Fun fact, that last audio clip wasn't new, it's something I used way back in an old video. Bonus points if any of you know which one. The headcanon after that will be this one. Matatsumi and Takemaru are dating married and they are raising a dozen or more of Oni children. Also, Kurogane gets away with everything in the crafters because everyone thinks he actually is. It's wild how Takemaru went from being racist to a part of an interracial relationship. Love really does win. And also, baby. The next headcanon comes from a very familiar profile picture. Sathugwa and Kuthugwa would be best buds if they ever met. They would play video games all day and watch anime. As nice as that sounds, it's almost literally contradicted verbatim by Kuthugwa's normal 5 stars research file. It reads, he has a very shallow understanding of video games and light novels but proclaims to know them well, but if he were to meet someone who actually does know a lot about them, he seems prone to blow his fuse. He apparently can't handle that one lazy ex-ruler who'd say nothing at all no matter how much you push, pull, or burn him. The next headcanon is, Seth and Bale will definitely meet each other one day, I swear. I want to see their reactions. That will literally just be that pointing Spider-Man meme. Jokes aside, I do want to see Seth and Bale meet if it means we get the lore around them cleared up. What I think happened is that King Salman used his power to rename Seth, thus creating Bale. I think it was in the Valentine's Coliseum event, but I cannot make heads or tail of it. Look, there, over the horizon. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's another headcanon. My headcanon is that Jugo joins the Summoners and gets more opportunities to show up more. Don't know much about him apart from his snake curse, but like the thought of him and MC becoming close. Honestly, it's a testament to how little Jugo is used that I thought you were bringing Naruto into this. All we can do is pray that the Summer River Adventure event gets a translation on the earlier side of Never. I'm beginning to run out of cool ways to introduce the next headcanon. I headcanon that Tendalos does prank videos on the side of his main workout streams. Gotta make those sweet, sweet clicks. This actually ties into his second sacred artifact, the YouTube apology video. I'm still out of ideas on how to link these headcanons together. Very silly headcanons which will never be true. Solomon Kun and Mephisto are secretly fighting over the job of MC's familiar. And Solomon Kun is endgame. He will eventually get a real body, grow up, and become a hot goat man who still loves his master a whole lot. On one hand, I'm pretty sure that's more reason for Mephistopheles to be beefing with Solomon than we've got in canon. And I don't know how much more often I can say this, but I don't want to be inside the mascot characters or have them inside me. Would you believe that wasn't the only headcanon I got about Mephistopheles and Lil Solomon? Because we also have this one. I'm not sure whether this is canon or not since I've only just started playing, but I believe Lil Solomon and Mephistopheles are siblings, with Lil Solomon being the younger. When I first started, I thought Mephistopheles would be like Lil Solomon's transformation or something at like the halfway point of the game, so I guess we were both wrong. Since we're talking mascot characters, the next headcanon is about Cait Sith. Cait Sith is secretly a backup world representative. I had to use that sound effect because of the emojis. Though to respond to the headcanon, honestly, you're probably right. My guess for the line of succession among Tir na Nog is something like this. Nodens or Lee because they're both current kings or lords, then Cait Sith because he'll be a king in the future, and then Melusine because she was formerly a ruler. Back to having no idea how to link these together, so we're just moving on to the next headcanon. Ooh, got one. The MC balances the guild's books by making all the cute merch seen in people's art. I know there's a pun or joke to be made here about the MC having an OnlyFans account, but for the life of me, I can't think of it. The next headcanon is from a certain someone, and I think we all know what they said. Snow is transmask. To that I say, vibe on, you funky little cowboy. Vibe on. Something something, next headcanon, you can tell I'm beginning to strain myself here. Fenrir and Hati had a falling out, which is why they don't speak to or acknowledge each other in the story at all. Same thing applies to Typhoon and Zoe, and it's one of the reasons that I want a Father's Day event, if only so we can get to see these characters interact. The next headcanon I'm pulling out of the bag is this one. Every male character besides MC is a bottom. All the female characters, however, are tops. I don't know why you're sorting which bunk people can sleep on by gender, but hey, you do you. Now that we're done with that one, it's time we move on to this one. Ever since the summer event, how did Shiro get so stacked? I think he just lifts pounds of books and goes to the mountains just for Moritaka and Kengo. That mountain thing probably isn't too far from the truth because the dude does have an entire limited unit about hiking. Next up is a headcanon about Chernabog because I rarely mention him in any of my videos now that I think about it. Chernabog is absolutely a theater kid. From his consistently poetic and thoughtful dialogue to the time he played Potato. I'm betting first chance he gets he's gonna start or join his Shinjuku theater troupe where with that powerful low range he could belt out countless classical tunes. You didn't need to elaborate so much on why Chernabog's a theater kid. I mean, he's cringe, ain't he? And our final headcanon of the day will be Moritaka and MC dating if Moritaka were to get more good screen time in the game. Honestly, I ship MC2 with Moritaka. The thought of him getting dumped by them is just real nice. That just about does it for this video, but there are a lot of good submissions, so I might make a part 2 or something at some point, so keep an eye out for that. Of course, we still have to do our Patreon shoutouts. For our 3 stars, we have special thanks to 87 Werehog, Deku, Zora Chow, Choron, Garyon Lefay, Dragon King Yara, and Kayun. For our 3 stars, we have Miki Moon and Unknown RC and their ideally depicted Summer Waltz. For our special 5-star shoutouts, we have first Vanilla Flower, the War Machine. Then Poor Mage, the Lunar Wolf. Next, Sky King 64, the Colosseum Colossus. Finally, Mahagasaur, the Demon King's Facade. Thank you all for watching, do be sure to like and subscribe, and as always, this is Rose Fury signing out.